And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me again. We are just getting underway. We have Alexander Magic against Pelican Lake Lady Eights. This is a B-side match. They are racing to 7. We're broadcasting again out of the Marriott Hotel. We are 10 minutes out of Cold Lake, Alberta. Yes, John, been a very, very long day for me. This is going to be my final match of the night. We're going to end it off with the ladies here. That way I can go back upstairs, get a little more rest than what I have got over the last couple of days. And that way I'm refreshed, ready to go for tomorrow for all of the finals. Edward, thanks for tuning in again. And of course, and as always, guys, if you can help me out, share the stream, I would appreciate it. As my good friend Rahana says, share it like you own it. Thanks, Brendan. Appreciate it, buddy. And for those that missed the BK Rush draw, that was on the end of the last stream. The winner of that was Chad Tinney out of British Columbia. And I also mentioned that we would be doing a BK Rush at the start of the next stream in Red Deer. I spoke with Ryan. We're going to start it up right now. So the next BK Rush is up for raffle. Again, 70 tickets, $20 per ticket. This is the one with the sport wrap. And once again, with teams, you'll find throughout the team play, I will get behind on scores. I am, as most of you already know, doing this event all by myself. The rest of the CSL team is back in Calgary. We have our own CCS playoffs going on this weekend. And with that going on and prior commitments, it left myself to come and do this event. So I'm wearing a few hats today. I'm commentating, watching all the comments, doing all of the ticket sales for the queue as well as the 50-50. And if somebody needs a ref, I am that man too. So in doing all of that, it makes it a little bit tough to keep track of scores. Sean, BK Rush, same price, $20 per ticket. And this is the one with the sport wrap that we'll be doing. The one prior was the wrapless version. This one does have the nice sport wrap on it. Beautiful looking queue. It is the one featured when I bring up the rush, which I will do once this game currently on the screen is finished. And if it doesn't sell out by end of day tomorrow, guys, it will carry over into Red Deer. There's Chad himself. And don't worry, Chad, I've been called worse. It's Grant. So for those that did miss out on the first one, oh, I got you, Chad. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'll chalk that up to sleep deprivation. So for those that did miss out on the first BK Rush, this will be BK Rush number 2. That does take care of our BK Rush inventory. As soon as the second one is gone, that's all we've got our hands on. Sounds good, Sean. As soon as I get that in, I will throw your name on it. You know the drill. Just check that email. Your email is in already, Sean, along with a lot of notifications from YouTube. They're catching all the music that's playing in the background. They don't like it. YouTube's algorithms are insane. They pick up absolutely everything. Right on, Chad. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll see you in Westerns, Chad. Then I get to maybe borrow your cue to break with. That was my plan, just so everybody is aware. The plan was for us to have a BK Rush, so I had sold my prior breaking cue. So I now sit without a breaking cue, and every time we get them in, we raffle them off. Yeah, already got it, Sean. No, not that I'm aware of anyway, Tony. And Dakota, how are you? That's awesome. So, Sean, if you do win, I expect that I get to use that when I come out to Niagara Falls next year. Although, hopefully, by then I stop raffling off all the ones I get in and I can keep one. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Once again, and as always, guys, I will say this a couple times at the start of all the broadcasts. If you can help me out and share the stream. If you are new to tuning in, I would appreciate it. Share to any of your friends, family, any of the pool groups that you're associated with. After the long hours that I've put in on this event so far, that's kind of what keeps me going. Unfortunately, Sean, I'm not even allowed to enter. That was one of the rules as we made this into an actual business, that we were never allowed to enter our own draws. I don't know, Jerry. The way that they're going with the back orders on the BK Rush, it might be years before we see the BK Rush 2. Oh, I think that would be a good matchup. Me and you play off for your BK Rush if you win. Except we both get to use it while we're playing that match. Shane, how are you? I'm doing well. A little sleep deprived, but I'm hanging in there. So this is going to be the last broadcast tonight, guys. I'm going to head to bed a little bit early so I'm refreshed for playoffs tomorrow. Joey, it was Chad Tinney out of BC that ended up winning the first BK Rush. That was the wrapless version. We were going to hold off until Red Deer to start the second one, which is the sport wrap version. But we decided we're going to go ahead and start it up. So if you missed out on the first one, second one is available. This one is the sport wrap version. Same ticket price, $20 per ticket, $70 per ticket. And for the 65 to 70 people that are on watching right now, where is everybody watching from? Yeah, I can definitely update the score. What's our score looking at? What's our score at? For... Okay. Gotcha. Oh, I gotta go run and ref a shot. I'll be right back, guys. I have other way.
Ooh, I like that. Hey. She came this way.
Down with it.
Yeah, she do it. Yeah. Hey.
You get that on replay? That was a close one. I'll do as I'm told.
Yeah. Oh. Right on. Good one. Three.
Okay, back with you guys. It was a good hit, guys. We even had it on video replay. Jerry, this one does have the sport wrap. And Todd, how are you, buddy? Draw for the Mickelson has been done. That was done on one of the streams on Thursday. My days are blending. Either Thursday or Friday. It has been done. It was claimed by Eldon Van Sand. And Dan, since that draw, we've done a raffle for a BK Rush. That was a wrapless version of that. That one has also been done. That was won by Chad Tinney. We are now on the second BK Rush, just starting that one. This is the one with the sport wrap. Can I get you to pull that chair just forward a little bit? Yeah. It's on mic. Yeah, just a little bit. Perfect. Thank you. Dan, tickets on the BK Rush are a whopping $20 a ticket. And again, same rules as all of the other draws that we do. There are no restrictions on the number of tickets you can buy. And if you're in Canada, you can email transfer qsportslive@gmail.com. If you're outside of Canada, PayPal's the option, paypal.me/qsportslive. And it literally just started within the last 10 minutes. So as I mentioned, guys, if it doesn't sell out while we're at this event, we are going live again on Friday morning. That'll be in Red Deer for the Alberta Bar Box Championships. We will do the continuation of that one during that broadcast. And with that event, that will showcase 8-ball, 9-ball, and 10-ball. That's 4 for Pelican. And for anybody that is going up to Red Deer for the Alberta Bar Box Championships, host hotel for that, of course, is the one and only Sheraton Hotel in Red Deer. I will try to get the link for the block of rooms that they have blocked off for us. Good luck to you, Stephen. Get her done. Absolutely, buddy. Stroke that cue ball pure. Stay down on that shot. You'll do well. And hopefully, Stephen, you've got one of those sure shots. If you don't have one of those sure shots, spend the $25 if you're in Canada or 22 in the if you're in the States. It'd be the best thing to help your game. Anybody should have those. If you're a lower caliber master player, right on down the line. That is one step before you get to the DigiQ. It will help improve your game, in my opinion anyway, more than any other piece of equipment out there. And just so everybody is aware, I was following along on the YouTube chat. I don't have the second tablet with me anymore, so I am only following along on Facebook for the remainder of this broadcast. We'll do our best to have both of them there for Red Deer. And for those guys that are just tuning in, we are broadcasting live out of the Marriott Hotel right near Cold Lake, Alberta. You are watching the Battle of the Bands. And to explain what that is, we started Thursday with singles 8-ball, 9-ball. Those are open to anybody. In the team events for both men's and ladies, you must be First Nations in order to play in the team event. And your team must be comprised of all members from the same band. So it is the battle of the bands. Definitely, Stephen. Make sure you go on to onto their website, www.sureshotbilliardsite2s's.com. They do have a tutorial on that. And for all CSL viewers, if you're in the States, go onto that website. If you want to order it, you'll see a CSL viewer. That stands for Q Sports Live. So on that CSL viewer link, click that link. It'll ask you for a code. That is a discount code. That code is CSL Pool, all capital letters. By doing so, that'll give you the 10% discount. The total cost again is going to be around that $22 US mark if you're in the States, $25 if you're in Canada. These are introductory prices. David was on the stream earlier. Had 3,000 of them when we started. He is now down to, last I heard was 800, but when I asked him yesterday, he said at the rate that they're selling, they will be gone and prices will be adjusted as early as next month. So they are going very, very quick. So if you are in Canada and do want to get one of those Sure Shots, you can contact Q Sports Live. We are the Canadian distributors for the Sure Shot. Right on, Johnny. Welcome to the pool addiction. So I was just given the updates for the number of entries in the women's team. We had 14 teams. In the men's, we had 31 teams. I don't believe payouts are posted on there as of yet. Each team has 4 members on their team. And as of right now, I don't know what the payouts are. But as soon as I know, you'll know. But it is one of the highest paid tournaments that you'll find anywhere in Canada based on the number of entries. Okay. Perfect. So Johnny, if you just ordered your very first pool cue, the second thing you need to do is, if you're in the States, I just mentioned it, go on to the SureShotBilliardsSite.com if you're in the States. Spend $22 US and get yourself a Sure Shot. If you're in Canada, let us know. $25 Canadian, $22 US. Anywhere from a master caliber player or lower level master caliber player, which is what my level is, right on down to the beginning player. That should be in every single person's bag. And I'm not saying it just because we're the Canadian distributors. I do use it, guys. It is very simplistic in its nature, but don't underestimate its simplicity. That is part of its genius. Very simple device to use. That was a nice shot. Very nice, Johnny. That Sure Shot will help with aiming, and it will give you real-time information on your stroke. It'll let you know whether you're stroking straight or if you're twisting your wrist. Here's the thing when you're talking about pool equipment, from cues to tips to gloves to chalk to every other piece of equipment out there, it is such a personal feel that if it works for you, that's perfect. That's what you're looking for. Just because you go buy a $2,800 custom cue will not make you a master player. All the cue does, along with all the equipment, is simply enhance your skills that you have at that time. Same as when you're talking any other sport. You'll get some hockey players that like certain flex better than others. Tennis players like a certain tension on the string. That's all a pool cue is, along with the tip and the shaft and whether it's low deflection, high deflection. All of those things are all in combination to complement what it is that you have as a skilled player. So can't think about a Q-Tech Fiberglass 190 Black as garbage, because if you bought it for a reason. You like the feel of it. You like the way it hits. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, if it complements what it is that you have as a player and complements your stroke and the way that you feel the ball, that's what counts. Right now, 65.
Coming online, eh?
And coming up. There definitely is. There's different thicknesses when you're looking at a snooker cue. They are about the thinnest shaft and ferrule that you're going to get. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. And there are different shafts that have low deflection, zero deflection. But again, it's going to be a graduation process when you're starting off at the beginner level. I don't think you need to get too caught up in the craze of low deflection, no deflection, so on and so forth. I think the important part, if you are one of those beginning type of players, if you just bought your first pool cue, more important is to concentrate more on the fundamentals, how you approach a ball, what your stance is. Really concentrate on the stroke. That will get you farther in the game than any piece of equipment out there. Best advice I can give you as a player is when you are practicing, record yourself. If you can record yourself, you go back, you watch yourself, you will see exactly how you approach a ball, because sometimes our mind's eye is actually different than what's going on. So that's the best advice I'll ever give a new player. Record yourself, watch yourself back. Yeah, that's exactly right, Jerry. I don't know if it would necessarily benefit a new player to play with the type of cue that I play with, for example. I don't think there's a necessity there. I remember the first cue I ever bought was a Dufferin Masters compression fit playing cue. I went from there to a Falcon. From there, I can't remember the cue I had after that, but then I went from there into the cue that I have now. I recommend it for beginning and low-level players, absolutely. Even myself, I do use it. I'm a lower-level master player. And the reason I recommend it so highly, guys, I don't use it for aiming. As a stroke test, it is one of the best pieces of equipment out there. This is why I said don't underestimate its simplicity. There is some genius behind that simplicity. So when you attach that onto the end of the ferrule and you're looking down that sight line, when you're doing your stroke, you can physically see what it feels like when you're not in stroke. You can physically see how to fix that and what it feels like to stroke it straight. So, I mean, there's lots of different levels and ways that will help you out for the lower level players. Learning how and where tangent line lies, where to cut the ball, how to make it when you're cutting left, when you're cutting right. Great tool for it. For the higher end players, for me, it is simply there for every time I go into a tournament, every time I go to play league playoffs, throw that onto the end of the ferrule and just make sure that my stroke is there. And what I found with it is when I do put it on and prior to the tournament, my concentration level on what I'm doing goes up. When that happens, your confidence goes up. So now when I enter the tournament, I'm just a little bit more confident. I'm a little more comfortable that my stroke is in place. And end result is you end up winning little more games than if you were to not do it. David, nope, score is not right. I will double check right now. There is the updated score, 5-1. Yes, you do get 4 of them. Myself, I've got a few different size shafts. So depending on the size of the shaft, that'll be the size of the sure shot that I mold up. So when you do get them, if you do have to shrink them down, boil up some water, let them sit in some boiling water, and then you kind of squish them down a little bit. And just make sure you get a nice tight fit when you put that over top of the ferrule. You know what? I am not sure if I'm going to play in it, Blaine. Based on this weekend, I might, but I'm not 100% sure. Haven't really thought about it that far. And Tom, buddy, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Guam. Sure does, Jerry. Yes, it will adjust to an 11.5 mil, right up to a 14 mil tip. So if you do ask anybody that's ever tried one, what I like about it, again, right, it is such a simple little device, and that's why I say don't underestimate its simplicity. The real-time information, the real-time feel that you get when that is on your ferrule, to me, is the most genius thing that anybody has come up with. And I applaud David for coming up with it. Johnny, I traditionally don't use a heavier stick when I break. I prefer actually a lighter cue. I find I can generate more speed. So I guess the mental awareness or the mental thought capacity that I have when I break is it's not about the power that I have in the break. It's about speed and control. So when I go up to break, and even though I want to crush the balls, that's not what my thought process is. I try to stay in form. And so my thought is stay in form, but just do it faster. And the faster I can do it, the more power I'm going to get into the cue ball. But if you reverse that and try to think, I need to crush this and I need to put a lot of power into it, the second you say that word power, you lose some of that control. And the second you lose the control, that's when you start seeing cue balls fly off the table. You lose control of the cue ball on the break. So I just try to play a mental game with myself, and I stay in form, and I just try to gain speed. I want to hit it faster. Right, but it does depend on the type of player you are. I do know guys that do play with a heavier cue. You see Eric Vargas on the stream all the time. He plays with or breaks with a very, very heavy cue, but he also breaks really light. So all he needs is a solid contact with that heavier cue, and he gets a nice spread. I like to hit my ball. I like to hit my break. That's just the type of player I am. So I think while I was explaining that, I had to have missed a game. Is it still 5-1? 5-2? I knew I missed a game in there. Whoops. Right on, Johnny. Have some fun on the table for sure. It's funny, people always kind of compliment both Ryan and I on, and we have received these compliments where people say that they've got the pool itch again because of the stream. And as much as I'm around pool, it's funny that I don't get to play as much as what I would like. And that's because I'm sitting behind the camera, commentating and running the stream. So I generally don't get to play as much as what I'd like, which is why I'm somewhat undecided about next week and whether I'm actually going to play in it or not. I would say based on this weekend, there's a high likelihood that I probably will play in it. I'm willing to put my money in the middle to see how I fare. There's a lot of good players that are heading over there, though. I would assume the likes of Eric Vargas, Stephen Hallam, Joe Spence. I'm not sure if Russ Whittle is going up there. I'm going to name off a few of the Calgary guys that'll probably end up going. Certainly Jackson Clifford, if he's in town, will be heading there. Ben Francis is probably heading there. Like there are so many high caliber players from Calgary. It's a tough run. I do have a table at home, Stephen. I think that's where my mind is at, Jerry. I did a lot of sitting this week, a lot of commentating this week, so that's why my mind is leaning more towards the fact that I'm probably going to end up playing in it. I have a 3.5 by 7 Valley bar box, same as what you're looking at home. Eventually, that'll be swapped out for a diamond table, 3.5 by 7. That was actually answered in Niagara Falls by Dr. Q, and I'll explain it the way that he did. A professional pool table is always going to be twice the width. So an official professional pool table in 8-ball is a 3.5 by 7. 4.5 by 9, but they do range, they get down into the inches. So long as that is twice the width, you do have a professional table. So if you did miss that, guys, that was in Niagara Falls. A lot of the streams that I started during this tournament actually say Dr. Q. Ignore those. Go back to the Niagara Falls event. It was in the first segment that we did with Dr. Q. That'll have the most views. I'm not sure whether you guys get to see the views or how many people viewed that one. But that was explained by Dr. Q in that first segment when we were in Niagara Falls. You are a very lucky man, Blaine. So up in Canada, those tables, 4.5 by 7 diamond tables, those are going to run us somewhere in the $5,000 range. If you're lucky, you can get them a little bit less than that, but not by much. And I know I missed that game too. This is what I get for talking so much. But I have to talk because my brain really, really wants to go to sleep right now. So I am constantly talking, guys. I hope I hope you can bear with me. Sleep deprivation is coming in quick. So I'm trying to talk and keep myself awake. So I appreciate all the feedback, guys. I do appreciate the comments. It's kind of what's keeping me going right now. If you don't mind me asking, Blaine, what did you pay for it? I think I think the question that you're looking to ask, Johnny, is what is most commonly played on. What's most commonly played on are the 3.5 by 7 valley tables that you're looking at here. Those can be in a valley table, those can be in a diamond table, those can be in a race-on table. Although I'm not sure if race-on does make a 3.5 by 7. Maybe somebody that's watching the stream knows. No way, Blaine. Yeah, you did get really lucky. Nice purchase. So most common tables, again, Valley 3.5 by 7. That's used in Vegas for VNEA, BCA, APA, CCS. Most common 9-ball, 4.5 by 9s are common 9-ball tables. And again, you know, Diamond will make a 9-ball table. Race On makes a 9-ball table. if you do go to like a Dufferin or one of the quote unquote department stores to get a table, if you measure the width of that table from the end of the rubber on the side rail to the end of the rubber on the other side rail, measure that, and if it is twice the height as the width, that would be considered a quote unquote professional table. Very nice. Mike Wazaloo is very, very good at recovering. And Jerry, we have thought about that. And I probably would have done that had I not been by myself on this. Score 5-3. There is your updated score. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go do a clarification. I'll be right back. And yes, Kevin, you are 100% correct. If you do want your valley to play like a diamond, ridgeback rails are the way to go. And the pocket shims are definitely an option there. And I even agree with you, Blaine. Those raised steel plates on the corner pocket is and can be sometimes a little intrusive. And again, when you're ordering those types of things, make sure you've measured the table. Don't automatically assume that it is a 3.5 by 7. It is a matter of inches, so depending on the valley table that you have, get the appropriate ridge back rails. And if your pockets are still wider than what you'd like on a diamond table, the pocket shims are the way to go there. Depends on your table, Blaine. Right, because even a valley tables, you can't automatically assume are a 3.5 by 7. It does come down to a matter of inches, which is why in that segment with Dr. Q, it was explained there as well that a quote-unquote professional table is always going to be twice the width. So it does depend on the size of valley table that you do have. Order the appropriate ridgeback rails for that size of a table. And if you find that your pocket size, so a valley table is 4.25 inch pocket size. So on your valley table, once you put your ridgeback rails on, measure out the pocket size. If it's over that, then the pocket shims you can add to that. Yeah, I think you can actually order flush plates or plates that sit flush. That was just the style when those valley tables came out. That was the style that they came out with. And sometimes you just find that they're a little bit intrusive. Just talking about the different type of rails, Johnny. So when you buy your table, if you want it to play like a diamond table, if you do go to a valley table, ridgeback rails, just upgrade the rail system, and those are ridgeback rails. Make sure you've measured your table size to get the appropriate size rails. And a diamond pocket size is a 4.25 inch. And if it's still bigger than the 4.25, and that's the size of pocket that you want, then you can add pocket shims to that. So on the diamond tables, diamond 3.5 by 7, they are 4.25 inch pocket. And I'd be curious to see if anybody is on right now on the live stream that has played on a race-on table. I've never played on a race-on. Would love to be able to try one out. So the race-on table is the one that they were using in the Moscone Cup. But I've never had the opportunity to play on a race-on, so not sure how well they play compared to a diamond anyway. And guys, just before this match does get finished, I will throw up this raffle one more time for the BK Rush. This is the queue that is the most sought after queue in North America at present. It is the BK Rush. We are selling 70 tickets. This one is with the sport wrap. Tickets are $20. If you would like a ticket and you're in Canada, you can email that to qsportslive@gmail.com. Outside of Canada, paypal.me/qsportslive. No restriction on the number of tickets you can buy. Once we sell out of those, we will do that draw live for you. If it doesn't happen on this event, we are going live again, as I mentioned, on Friday. We will be in Red Deer. That will be for the Alberta Bar Box Championships. In that event, we will have 8-ball, 9-ball, and 10-ball all on display. Angela, this is the second BK Rush. First one was raffled off maybe an hour ago. Was won by Chad Tinney in BC. So this is now the second BK Rush The first one was the wrapless. This one now has the wrap. It just started. So lots of tickets left. I don't think they're race-on tables that is at Top Shots. They are another brand of table, but I can't remember what they are. Yeah, I can't remember what they are at Top Shots, but I don't think they're race-on. They are the ones he's got at Top Shots, if my memory is correct, play more like a Chinese 8-ball table. Although I could be wrong, I am fairly sleep deprived right now. I should also mention, guys, on the 50-50, if you do want in on the 50-50, I'm going to do that draw early tonight. I am looking to gain a little bit of sleep tonight, so I'm refreshed for the finals tomorrow. And if you do want in on the 50-50, they are 1 for 5, 3 for 10, 10 for 20, or 50 for 50. Same email address, qsportslive@gmail.com. If you're in Canada. Outside of Canada, it is PayPal, paypal.me/qsportslive. Well, Kevin, we wish you a speedy recovery. I'm not sure why you're in the hospital, but hopefully it's a speedy recovery for you. Glad we could be there for you. Yeah, Mel, we are putting on the BK Rush again. So the first one was the wrapless version of the BK Rush. This second one that we just started is the sport wrap version. So when I put that cue draw up, I'll just show you really quick. On the far right hand picture, that is what the sport wraps look like on the BK Rush. That is the current one. We weren't going to start it until we got to Red Deer, but I talked with Ryan and we decided we'll just go ahead and get her started. So same as before, 70 tickets, $20 per ticket. The first one was the wrapless version. That was won by Chad Tinney out in BC. And I believe Pelican Lake are now on the hill. I'm just going to check. Is there a score update again? 6-4? 6-4 it is. Pelican Lake ladies are on the hill. Sounds good, Jim. And guys, before I sign off for tonight, and before I do the 50-50, and before I forget, ultimately, just want to say thanks to the Battle of the Bands for having Q Sports Live come in and do the live streaming for them. Been a great event. You'll see the Seven Lakes Oil Field Services. They are a major contributing sponsor of the Battle of the Bands. And with the dress code that they've enforced here, guys, got to applaud them for it. I applaud their efforts to showcase collared shirts, no jeans, and dress shoes. Really, really applaud their efforts. So just want to say thanks to James Blackman, to Casey, all of the tournament organizers. Thanks for having Q Sports Live out here. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, if you guys do want to come out to one of the Battle of the Bands, they have opened up the 8-ball singles and 9-ball singles. That is open for anybody. And based on the number of entry, guys, you can't get a better payout. This is one of the best payout tournaments anywhere in Canada. Next one will be held sometime in October. There was the question of if they were going to include the Métis in the Battle of the Bands. And that is what they are pushing for right now. That will be the event in October. So stay tuned for location and more information on the next Battle of the Bands in October. Yep, singles will be open to absolutely anybody and everybody. It will be around the same price as what this entry fee was. So $135 to get your name in early. From there, if it is a late entry, jumps up to $160 for singles. That is in both events, 8-ball and 9-ball. Excuse me. This is why I wanted to shut down as well early tonight. My voice is starting to go a little bit, and I want to make sure that I'm not only not sleep deprived for the finals tomorrow, but that I actually have a voice. Sorry for the lack of commentating here, guys. Just getting some tickets done up. So if it sounds like I'm eating chips, I'm not. I'm just ripping tickets. And Pelican Lady has won the match. Intense, she says. Intense it is. So congratulations to the Pelican Lake Lady 8s. They came out victorious. Sorry? Can you have a sticker? Yes, you can certainly have a sticker. How many would you like? Done. There you are. You're more than welcome. So, I'm going to see if I can get the winner of that match to draw the 50-50. It is a little bit smaller because I'm heading to bed here right away. Total pot $310. Puts $155 into the winner's pocket. I will see if I can get that drawn out right away here, guys. I'm going to go run onto the camera. I will be right back. Who was the one that won the last game? Okay, can you pull a ticket for me? I'll come over there and we'll do it on the camera. I don't know if you can see it or not on the camera, but that is the winner. 569742. So, not sure whether everybody saw that or not. The winning number, 569742. So I will put a post out on the Q Sports Live Facebook page, letting everybody know what the winning ticket is and how much the winner gets. If you do have the winning number and you're online with me, shoot me a message. Let me know. If you are in the room You can come back, check with me tomorrow morning. For everybody that is still tuned in, guys, thank you very much. This is my stream for today. I'm gonna head back up to bed, get rested up for tomorrow. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I will be back tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great evening.